how am I going to keep my players engaged? That's a real challenge for a head coach with this sort of quarantine situation they're facing, right?
Oh, without question. If you look at the championship caliber teams having to be there 3 months, I don't know about you guys, but I was going nuts in semi-quarantine at home for this amount of time. So just imagine what these teams are going to go through where you're not allowed, think about it, no family, no friends, no chances for fun, and absolutely no familiarity. Their lifestyle is going to be changed 100%. They're used to staying in Ritz-Carltons, coming and going as they please, flying on charter jets, and now you're going to be at Disney in hotels with very little, from what I understand, flexibility to live a normal life. It's going to be a huge challenge.
Jeff, now let's remember, as Disney employees, these resorts are fantastic.
They're wonderful.
They're going to be staying. They are going to be staying in 3 different resorts, all the teams. And to your point,
for the average person, yes, but these guys are not average. They're not expecting average as far as they're expecting. Their just whole lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's just, as you know, Mike, it's just different. It's just, and you combine everything that they're going to have to try to navigate. And I don't care how many pool tables you bring in, ping pong tables, open mic nights, you're going to have to think of all those things. But it's going to be, I am concerned. I think the players are right to be concerned about how restrictive this environment is going to be.
And you mentioned championship teams. There will be 4 teams that will be there past, I believe it's the 67-day mark. So they'd be pushing on those 4 teams, the 3 months or more being there. So, Jeff, as far as from a coaching standpoint, you mentioned some of the activities they could do. Would you try to take up more of their time with basketball activities or let them be more? I mean, could you kind of figure which way you may go there?
Yeah, I think that's a tough decision and one you're going to have to read on a day-by-day basis because they may be bored in the situation. They may even be more irritated by you and you overexerting yourself into their lives for, 3 months. Think about it. Now, when you're on it with a normal team in an NBA, you're going to be around them probably 4 hours a day, practice, meetings, whatever it may be. Game days would be a little bit more, obviously. But this is going to be where you're going to, run into people on their what would normally be their off hours. And I just remember this from Summer League in Vegas. We were there for Vegas, all these opportunities to have fun. You're there probably 2 weeks, and you can't wait to get home. I mean, you're dying to lose in the Vegas Summer League, so you're ousted so you can go home.
And I'm sure there's going to be some guys, especially the ones on the teams that don't think, and that's what we've heard of, is a lot of the teams that believe they're on the fringe and might not have a chance in all this. But Jeff, we've also heard from players like Kyrie Irving and others that have started to voice concerns about the effect that they can have on the current, movement for social justice in the world going into this. If you're a coach right now, what is your communication like with your players on this subject?
Well, I think you do have to be in constant communication. I think that's normal, though, that you're going to have things crop up and have to address. And I think the more directly you confront it, this is a little bit different in that you can't get everybody together at once. So you're having to do it individually. I think it makes it more challenging to keep everybody knowing what everybody else thinks. Because the conversations can't flow naturally back and forth between multiple members. But it's something certainly you have to address. And I think every coach is going to have to understand some players may be unwilling to play for any different reason. I don't think you can become too judgmental on those reasons. And then secondarily, some players that do come because they want to collect their money may have different levels of enthusiasm for participating. And that's where, as far as a coach, you either want somebody completely in or completely out. If you don't feel like you can give it your all, that's fine. But you can't have guys half-stepping and expect to be successful.
Jeff Van Gundy with us. So Jeff, there's so many moving parts to this. And again, you've talked about how you keep the players engaged. I mean, the NBA is encouraging each team to bring a mental health professional as part of their traveling party or have telehealth conferences available to these players. And when I look at all the things that are going on, and some people are like, well, it's just going to be a run-up to this ridiculous false premise of a championship. I think it's actually going to be way more difficult to win the championship in this environment than would in a regular run to the finals, where you have, like you said, the luxury that they're used to, the travel that they're used to, the off days between games in the postseason that you normally have. All of that is going to be so condensed. You could make a very compelling argument this might be the most difficult championship to win.
Yeah, I think, to me, guys, this is like a different season. I think, for me, the 19 and 20 NBA season is over. This is totally different. All you're bringing from the 19 and 20 season is your roster and your record. Other than that, everything is different. I don't think you can think that there's going to be carryover. You don't know. You don't know differing health issues. Some teams may have improved with the time off to get their health back in order. Others may have sustained an injury that we don't know about, or have dealt with the coronavirus and are a little bit compromised. So this is different. As you said, it's completely different. To me, this is 2020 Summer League.